Good morning.
Dr. Schwartz natural body wash. She body wash. What's your wish? Coconut. Earthquake. Dr. Schwartz body wash. For men, this is for natural.
Nothing going on.
You know what they say.
But me
Get out. But you couldn't.
and something to eat.
I'm 2 steps ahead.
Let's talk about Cynthia's Bailey Q.
But I do
Let's
an
not talk
annual
about it.
day.
I didn't even know Cynthia was here.
Nobody knows that. I literally only told Rick. Yeah. She scared me. I was like, do you know what I mean?
They went to see a witch, which is a prophet, whatever. I didn't hear like the blood of Jesus or anything.
You Google me, but then even some of the stuff that you could Google, some of those things wouldn't pop up.
They're accurate, but they are very
She was on
nosy too.
point.
The girl just nosy to the 16th power. Like your mother would be one of them. Your mother would be one of them. Nosy like that.
Do our baby blessings or our
My
daughter
baby blessing.
was feeling. And she even said, even with the group, you know, you need to find a way to become vulnerable and get comfortable.
And this is not what this is.
Yeah.
That was just a moment.
And be careful who you trust. It was hit or miss with her. I don't know. What did she say about you?
Drew is very intuitive. You know, she could be my least favorite. That's new. Yeah, but
Let me talk to my man. Nice Aliyah dress. Right. Let me see what conversation. I will make sure these kids can still go to private school. Yes.
Shmi is hilarious.
They were good.
Shmi is an actress and a comedian.
Do I need to slow down? Am I right? Do we need to downsize?
Yeah.
No.
Shmi is an actress and a comedian. Don't get that.
Shamia. When we got back, I gave business opening for a minute. I text her.
Kelly's so cute.
What she said? Ooh,
And she's all about all the little things.
After witnessing the disrespectful behavior towards me and my husband, it's clear that our morals and values don't align. Okay. Wow. We just got.
It's moving right along. So Oakley has a problem, which I'm here for because she is the grand dame of the season.
Explain. There is no explanation.
It's her first season.
What was said?
If I offended you about your husband, that was not my intention. And I would like to move forward.
Come on, Jesus.
But for the sake of
Yeah, Portia will offend you. But just being Portia.
Apology and give her an opportunity
To apologize.
because first time shame on you, right?
Mhm.
Next time shame on me.
Right, because you ain't gonna keep
so
doing that,
that's her
Portia.
shame
So
on you.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
done.
And they made up so
Girl,
fast
she is
after
done with
Juneteenth
shit.
event. I just didn't understand. You still mad at me?
Shamir would like to sit down with you, and I'm sure you'll be very receptive.
Shamia always comes in number one,
She was not
which
better
is
than
why
me. She was getting in my ass.
she carries the two. If you were two, then you knew how them jealous bitches move.
I hate that.
Shout out Nicki
This was Minaj.
Minaj.
I'm like, wait a minute.
But I don't even have to say Minaj. Shout out Nicki.
I was mad with her because I felt like
Nicki. I didn't say all of that.
right. I felt like her and I we connected because we're wild.
Like, gotta deal with a fan? Who you been?
Don't play about it.
Right.
At all.
Right.
On any level.
I was just so shocked. Like, you that mad at me? Yeah, I am. Because do you think it's funny if somebody said they want to her? Would you think it was funny? I was like, I mean, the way they say it, I probably would laugh. But I honestly took the humor. And guess what? If you can get them pants down, and if you can get that dick up out of the, I shouldn't have said that. If you can get that eggplant out of the pants, right, and get him to do it, you might be a professional. You know?
I felt like being around Shamia, even Brett. That the wives are gonna, you know, it could be people when it comes to our husband.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna do that for you. And we will check you. Check your friend.
I did laugh at some of the stuff because they're out for me to be like, no, you don't talk about. And
Yeah.
we weren't close like that. And she was definitely riding for Drew like I was riding for Portia. I don't move how most people think I should. Like, if you talk the trash and say what you say, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
I don't even think this was from a space of me and Shamia being friends because her and Portia are best friends.
Right.
And if I saw my best friend saying something that hurt another woman or hurt herself,
Yeah.
I'm gonna check her.
Yeah.
Because that's the true meaning of best friend.
Absolutely.
She didn't do it because it's this mind control that I witnessed in real
Mind
time.
control.
It's strong.
At the time, when Portia said what she said, she was like, who knew you were up there listening? Now, would I move differently if she was there? I still would have laughed.
Of course.
But
Be a little bit more like a.
versus like
I personally can't have friends who won't
Put me in my
check me,
place.
because I feel like you're looking out for my best interest by doing that. I don't want to just be out here doing dumb.
everybody saying, oh,
Yeah.
no, girl, you know
Yes,
what?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Please check me.
Check me.
And I feel like y'all always checking me, so like, what can we spread this out? Please.
I mean, and Shamia just finally in agreement with Portia, like, no, I can't check you. Yes, you can, and you should.
The fact that you forgave other people before you forgave me for laughing. Okay.
Cause y'all ain't gonna act like that outside of your houses.
You heard that too? Damn. You got some
Bless the spaghetti again. In the name of Jesus.
Damn, little lady.
I'm so done with you.
She is done with you.
Fuck up the street. That's what it is.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all?
Do y'all think that I should open up the door
Hey,
to Latisa and Diddy? Cause I've been keeping that door shut.
Hey,
Cause it's not because it's a baby. Well, I'm done pushing snap. Find out about Drew, what?
Workday's done. Scroll right to that $6 Popeyes.
What the fuck did Drew do?
Fast forward to that.
And I didn't lose.
What the fuck did Drew do?
I heard her. I heard her.
With Dennis?
Why does somebody else gotta tell me that you're filming on this show?
Girl, this is the first episode, T.
For
Girl.
where
What's
y'all
going on?
relationship is right now. And apparently, you said that she tried to sleep with you.
And Portia.
Portia welcomes her new au pair Phoebe into the household, but not before Dennis gives her the third degree. From awkward introductions to serious co-parenting conversations, things quickly turn
Portia's a
tense
cancer.
when Luke
I'll let
comes up
Nine
and
go.
secrets start spilling. The last
Yeah,
was
talk
brief,
about it.
but the drama is
Oh, you're excited?
I go to grocery
I
store.
feel like it's just good. The thing about being able to get an au pair, somebody who's gonna come and just be there with me and her, and you know they're not like a nanny who's in and out. I wanted Dennis to meet her.
It feels like a great marriage.
I'm getting a wife. It's really important to me that Dennis and I have a good cohesive co-parent relationship right now. That is priority. What are you doing here?
What is time for?
You already punched it. Okay, you're in.
What's this?
So we are doing like a welcoming for her. She's from South Africa. I'm meeting her in person today, and she's gonna come and live with me. But majority of her focus will be taking care of Alara. I talked to the family that she was with before, her regional manager.
Very thorough.
Okay, that's all. Thanks.
Oh my God, that's her. That's her.
So what is it? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna go stay with you, and then she's gonna live there.
Oh man, hold on. You got a body with the
Maybe once you sneak out, some people got some cooking.
Excuse me. This is Dennis.
a large father.
Boyfriend too.
And this is Lauren.
You've been talking.
Come, let's show her get to here. This is for you. And we have a cake and some flowers.
Oh, thank
I
you.
wanted you to feel special. So Dennis and I co-parent. He doesn't live with me. I think I told you that.
There's like so many things to choose from, so.
I don't understand the energy.
Okay, well,
Well, I haven't been watching Housewives, so I don't have my little thing. So, we are up on YouTube, so, you know, let's shout bitches out.
Finding a great vehicle isn't just finding one.
I don't understand the energy.
okay, well, I want to address the elephant
Shout out Bravo.
in the room. Portia, I just want to say happy birthday. I know I wasn't invited necessarily by you, but I want to ask the question, or are you good with me being here because I know I wasn't invited? You straight?
All right, ladies, got your entrees. Anybody else want food?
It is Portia's birthday, okay, and I didn't come empty-handed. I actually got you a bottle of whiskey, which I will leave for you. I thank y'all for this time, and I'm going to go.
Wait a minute.
Well, she gave me an answer that's like nasty nice. At this point, I've extended olive branches. I showed up. And if that's the energy, then that's the energy.
Honestly, wait, Drew, 1 second. Drew, 1 second. Y'all let me respond.
Girl, eat your chicken. I would like for you to stay. Portia is fine with me
I would
staying.
like for you
I
to say.
just asked, if anybody has issues with me, let's address it now.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the fish? You didn't go to the lake to catch it?
Okay, I'm gonna go now. This is just immature.
Girl, why are you
saying
leaving?
that? I don't have to deal with this, actually. Because I wasn't invited anyway.
Girl, how we got 4 beds, we always end up in one.
We in one bed because we need each other, bitch.
Girl,
We need each other.
they don't want to do that for girl. It's money float in the water. Why her angel was looking out the window recording us at the pool?
Are you serious?
Girl, we was in the pool, she was recording us from her window. She was like, I heard everything. Everything.
Oh, you ready? Mr. Rock. I heard something yesterday that I wish I didn't hear. Last night around 2:30 a.m., I was on the phone with my husband, and I hear my name. And I look out the window and I see Portia, Shamia, Kelly, and Brett at the pool. Portia was inebriated, and all of her truth fell out.
What she said she wanted to fuck Charles.
Extraordinary. This rare specimen follows its own instincts and charts its own path, like her.
Portia would just smile like, I should Charles. And I'm like, that's my calling card. Because now, bitch, I know you people husband. I know you do it as a sport. And now you're going to bring my husband in it? I got to check you on that. Coming up on the Real Housewives of Atlanta after show.
It sounds like you need to use that mask more often.
Ooh, I do. Not as much as yours with the stretch marks around it.
What? Angela! And that's where I was just like, you know what, Angela, I can't really watch this like that.
I know I gave you this nice girl. I'm not her. I don't really see the conversation necessary because it lend itself to something.
I was just so shocked. Like, you done that? Actually, when I go to bed, I go to bed. I don't even stand at the window. He's dropping his
They
crazy.
called my name. The Real Housewives of Atlanta after show starts right now.
What happened at the pool?
We had a ball. We had a good time. We was drinking. We had the money flowing.
just let our hair loose and have fun.
It was a good time. And then everybody started talking trash. You know how you do when you think ain't nobody watching. We were having a good time. They started talking trash about Ange, Big Ange. Yeah, about Big Ange.
Angela was just a casualty of war that night.
It is what it is.
Honestly, we were having a kiki about her because she gave me such a hard time the whole trip.
How was yours?
But my question was, why did she take that woman husband?
That dog flew away. Let's get some light in here. I can see every window from that house on every house. Every window from the house can see me. So make sure I show a little Ashley, a little Dana. It's hella niggas over here. That's all you can do. Main stage too, which I'm about to have a twerk on. Let's say, can you flirt? I do not, but I can't with but no bitch. How much money you got? My bitch is shaking ass with their hands out, and that's what I would start playing. My bitch is shaking ass with their hands out. I'm really not catching up on this because it hurts.
Check out these deals of the week at Walgreens. Shop weekly deals at your store or at walgreens.com.
Spicy.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Welcome to the Countdown to Chaos. We are talking Diddy, the jury duty, his
Don't
team,
use
which is
our
ever-
content, girl.
New York team. Baby,
Say it to
listen,
my face.
the second district in New York, the prosecutions are bracing for Diddy's new trick. They think through jury, Diddy is going to either get this trial delayed or either moved to another venue. And all I got to say is, baby, not on our watch. The second district in New York is calling for all potential juries to be 100% silent about. You understand how these questions are loaded to that second? Who they are, what they know, and anything. They don't want to get Diddy an ounce to scandal. Now listen, baby, you know this is going to be the Super Bowl. We are going to be covering in this trial left, right, up, down. Make sure you join us. It's going to be live city. However, I do want to point out that a lot of people don't really understand how jury selection in second district in New York work. Okay, let's get some who's going to drop what prosecutors are looking for, and what's going to drop to you about what people think Diddy's team is actually going to happen. Spoiler alert, it's not going to work, but let's get into this, right? Now, first, how jury selection usually goes in Southern District. Okay, you guys, listen, it starts with a random pool of people, okay? They pull it from voter registration or DMV or anything of that purpose. Now, this is important to know because you know if you just take 15 or 12
know you
people
have
say,
to go
okay,
for
that, they're on high-profile trials, you can expect anywhere between 300 to 500 people that have to be called in. That's right. In major cases like this, and make no mistake, they're looking at this to be a major case. This is going to be, I think, on the 26th floor where the huge courtroom is. It's going to be huge. And they're even going to have a press overflow room. So the court is going to summon between 300 to 500 people to build a fair jury trial. Now, these people, they're not going to show up all at once. They come in like waves, or as the prosecutors like to call them, panels, maybe at 50 to 100 at a time. Now, you might be asking, why so many? Well, a lot of people are going to be excused immediately for scheduling conflicts, hardship,
language barriers. So I do want to point out that is in normal trials, but those cares of Mrs. Crumple stole a mincemeat pie off of Miss Sally's window. However, every juror I think that is called is going to want to be on this. Because baby, here's the thing. If you are a Diddy juror, this is big money. Most of the jurors end up
This is the
writing
progress.
especially if Diddy is found not guilty. If Diddy is found not guilty, I don't think that's gonna happen. But if he is, the jurors can make their fortune by
Regular.
writing tell-alls. At the
It's a
very
big
least, each juror can make a nice little chunk of change after the trial's
That's
over
all I gotta say.
by giving interviews about what they saw, what they heard, why they decided that. This is huge, okay? So they expect a lot of people to want to be on this jury. Now, others are gonna be disqualified for bias, okay? Legal issues and bad answers on the questionnaire. Again, in the federal criminal trial, you typically get 12 jurors plus 2 to 6 alternates, okay? The alternates are basically, they're bench players, in case someone gets sick, lies, or has a meltdown
Sound like a
mid-trial.
bitch flopping
People don't
down.
ask them, but it happens all the time,
The
okay?
shit.
But keep
Look
in
at
mind,
that dick.
the verdict must be unanimous. So all 12 have to agree, or it's a hung jury. Now, the alternates are the bench players. They sit through the entire trial, but they don't vote unless someone drops out, okay? So the jury pool. It starts with the jury summons. Some of you guys listening to this actually might have gotten the summons. Names are pulled from DMV records, voter rolls, tax forms, everything, okay? The people show up in federal court, the jury pool. Again, this is a big case, it's gonna be 300 to 500 people, okay? What's the first step? All the potential jurors Monday are expected to enter in, and they have to fill out a detailed questionnaire. Now listen, this isn't just some what's your name, what do you do, you know, it gets really, really intense. For instance, sample questions. What are your thoughts on police and the justice system? Have you ever been a victim of crime? Do you follow celebrities? Do you know who Sean Diddy Combs is? What social media accounts do you use? Why
We
do
never
they
wanna
want this?
be
Because bias
in a place like
hide in plain
we
sight.
know better or
Okay.
better
And
than
get this,
unless
the
we
lawyers
actually are.
and will Google you
And
if they think
sometimes I'm
that
no different,
you are
but I'm
lying or being
still working on
dishonest. Or
things.
they
You know?
just want to get you out of there because they don't like your looks.
I
You see
know
what I'm saying?
I know I look
Now,
good.
the voir dire, that is voir dire. This is what everybody's talking about, and this is basically like legal Super Bowl. It basically is a
Legal
jury
Super
taker, okay? Voir dire literally means to speak the truth. This is when the lawyers and the judge interview jurors to
Thank
see
you, 'cause
who's
you was a
biased.
What is the power of locally? I definitely look forward to a long relationship with Newtown Savings. I have all of my accounts with them. I know exactly who I'm talking to. I go to the same branch. I see the same people. It's been a really positive experience.
Because I didn't wear nothing under these yesterday. I just realized no Ajik was got. But nobody told me. Jayla, he should have knew.
New game, same dedication.
Yes, man.
No ads, ever.
I know I got it.
I don't even need Wi-Fi.
That's why everything was. That's why everything got.
The game,
I mean, everything.
it is.
Enough to serve and too biased to serve. Now, why is it that you can't be biased? Because voir dire doesn't guarantee that every biased person gets off the jury. It means that you can strike if you're strategic.
Unless you
the
definitely gonna
most
work up, man.
biased
me
people.
a cup.
However,
That
there's
cup's
nothing
in my
wrong
mouth.
with Diddy. And remember when I told you guys a long time ago, Diddy should have never played in that judge's face and misled the judge about that whole thing with like they took my jury, they took my attorney-client privilege notes, and it came out that that was all a lie. Mark Agnifilo didn't care because in Southern District in New York, the judge runs the voir dire, meaning the judge asks most of the questions. Now get this, the lawyers can suggest questions, but they don't get free rein. Now this does speed up the process, but it also limits how much Diddy's team can grill people directly. So they have to be strategic and surgical. Let's also not forget that it looks like they lost the judge's trust early on. I'm just saying, okay? So how these strikes work. The voir dire, each side gets a certain number of strikes, okay? The strikes are basically saying, yeah, you're out, right?
One, there are two ways lawyers can kick someone off the jury. Challenge for cause. This is when someone says something crazy, like, yo, Diddy was always innocent. I hate Cassie. Right? If the judge said, and you could be like, Your Honor, bias. You can move to strike void there. If the judge agrees they're biased, they're out. But the judge doesn't have to agree. There's also preemptory challenges, okay? Each side is going to get a limited number of these, usually 6 to 10 in federal court, depending on the case. No explanation is needed. They just don't like your vibe, baby, you're out of there. And yes, they do say technically you can't use that to discriminate, okay? But lawyers still play chess games. For instance, in a rape case, they don't want a woman the same age on the jury as the woman that's accused of following the court. They typically want men. If it's a young woman, they want an older woman. If it's an older woman, they want. You see what I'm saying? But they usually want men. So that's where it's like, okay, you're not supposed to discriminate for gender or race, but they do it. Okay, allegedly. Anyway, now here's the way Diddy's team is thinking about using this to their advantage. These lawyers are watching everything. Body language, eyeballs, who's gonna side-eye them, who is like literally clapping and looking starstruck when they hear his name. They're looking for people who say guilty or proven innocent in their tone, even if they try to cover it up with words, right? They also know people who follow blogs and pages and might have made up their mind. Jurors get strong feelings about celebrity privilege, Me Too movement, and also they are looking for people that are super fans of Diddy. Okay? Now, why is this important? Because of the expanded questionnaire. This is where the real screening begins. Before anyone goes into the courtroom, every potential juror has a questionnaire. Again, this is like a local version of like Match.com. Okay? So, who creates the questionnaire? The judges final juror will be questionnaire. Both sides, the prosecution and the defense, have submitted proposed questions, but they are proposed. The judge decides which questions can make it in and can reward or reject any question. This means Diddy team, again, can request questions that might help spot bias, but they don't get to call the shots. If you should have never played in that judge's face. So what type of questions are on there? Background, identity, marital status, number of children, occupation, educational level. But they also have your legal system experience. Have you ever been arrested, charged, victim of crime, ever served on the jury before, any family and friends, and law, blah, 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 blah. All right? The media consumption and social media. What news sources do you read or watch? Do you follow any true crime, celebrity gossip, or political content? So if you're tattletale, be honest, right? What social media accounts do you use? Do you post about current events, celebrity awareness, opinion-based questions?
It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock.
Is it the way? Is it the way? Is it the way? Oh. See. Is it? Is it the way? Is it the way?
Certainly see where Beyonce's flair for costuming, because when you go to any of the concerts, it's all about the show and the costumes is such a big part of the fantasy that she creates on stage that transforms the audience. And I could see from the first story about your mother, and then knowing that your mother came from seamstress, and you know how to do it, and that you were doing all the clothes for Destiny's Child, and the way you were treated in the beginning by the record company doing those clothes, so disrespectful.
Yeah. Not only the record company, but when I would go to shoots and people wouldn't talk to me, or because I was country and I had this big hair, and I never in the early days would do myself up because I was so busy all the time. And it was also a thing of not wanting to stand out, I think. I've thought about it many times because I don't have a passive personality, but I would let people say things because I thought I deserved to be not on their level back then.
Yeah, you don't belong here.
Exactly.
That nonsense
resonates
yeah,
in your
you
brain.
don't belong
Yeah.
there. And so you were doing the clothes, and the record company people are complaining that they're looking too much like, this is a long time, you're trying to make them look like Motown.
Yeah.
And then that all changed when?
Well, it changed later, but it was a fight. The whole thing was a fight for a long time. And then, but people love the costumes. The people love the costumes. The fashion magazines didn't love them. The designers didn't love them. They made fun of it all the time. And even to the point where I remember Beyonce went to the Oscars one year, and I did this fabulous gown with like origami. It was black and gold. And everybody was going crazy on the red carpet. And then when she finally felt comfortable to say, my mom did the dress, they said that it looked like I got the fabric off the drapes and made it for her. Because it was like, and it was so defeating because I was so excited because I was like, finally they accepted, and, they made fun of it.
The other thing that was so interesting is that your ex-husband, Matthew, was able to instill within the girls at a very early age how to protect their money.
Yeah.
And I think that, first of all, I think you were very fair to your ex in this book. Because I know there's lots of things you could have said that did not get said in this book. There was a never-ending cycle of him cheating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from the first sentence that you write about that, shortly after you all got married, I think the sentence was something like, he had a problem with fidelity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Roshni, you have a question about that?
I do. I was married 6 years, divorced for 8, recently remarried. And though there was infidelity in my marriage, the things that existed before I got married with my husband was very much present in my marriage. I just didn't see it. So the question is really, when you had the early signs from Matthew, what made you want to commit and move ahead anyways, but then what kept you there?
First of all, I hope that I made it very clear in the book that my whole life with Matthew was not filled with heartache, that there were some amazing moments also.
Yeah.
I also had just lost my mom at 26. He knew my mom. I knew his mom. And what he was so kind to my family. My family is everything to me. So imagine you losing your mom at 26. Your brothers and sisters are older, they got their own families, and you feel so alone. And like, that's my best friend, you know, and in a lot of ways, he had an issue, but he was so kind to me. And it sounds crazy because that's not kind to cheat on somebody. I think he had an illness, but we were a team. And, you know, we had kids and we built a life together. We built businesses together. We connected on so many levels. So I don't know. When I look at it now, I can't believe I stayed there for that long. Self-esteem issues, obviously. You know, those nuns telling me I wasn't good enough. So I was like, I'm lucky to have somebody that's successful and smart.
Did you
and
ever,
better than me.
did you ever,
In
Wow.
some ways, you think that.
yeah, did you ever, I was gonna say, did you think it was because you weren't doing enough, that you weren't enough for him? Did you think that?
Oh yeah, at times. Yeah. I think you do go through that when somebody cheats on you. And it also keeps you in a cycle of, it's kind of like somebody slapping you in the face and then you don't get to recover and then you get another slap in the face. You can't really get your strength up, you know? And there were times when I did get my strength up. But then I would have these kids and I say, you know, I'm going to be by myself for the rest of my life because I'm not going to bring some man around my kids. You know, that was always that fear of protection. And I swear, every time somebody would start messing with me, and he was my protector. He was always a protector. He's still my protector. If something went wrong, I would want him on my team.
How would you describe, how is your relationship today? Because you all are great parents together.
We're fine. I say in the book that I still love him as a brother. Even though the things he did, I knew that they were out of a illness. They weren't intentional. And that sounds crazy. I know I still sound codependent, but I just know that he would take a bullet for me. And if somebody messed with me, he was right there all the time. He was a person who always told me you could do anything. You could do anything you put your mind to. You can have whatever you want to have. I mean, he believed in me when nobody else did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you married again when you were 61, right?
Yeah.
To actor Richard Lawson, and divorced after almost 10 years. And our friend Tyler Perry, in the book you talk about, told you something. What was that? He told you about that?
He just told me that I told him what happened, and he loves Richard also. And he was like, I'm very sad to hear that. And I said, but you know, this marriage is not bringing out the best in me. And I have finally found my worth, and I know that I deserve to be happy. I know I deserve for somebody to be happy when they see me and to celebrate me. And it's not doing it for me. It's bringing out the worst in me, and it's got to stop. And he said, I mean, he was teary-eyed. He was like, I am so proud of you coming from a family where women stayed no matter what. And it's taken a lot of courage. I said, I'm doing this for my daughters too. So I want to set that example for them. And he said, you're not only doing it for your daughters, but you're doing it for your grandson. Because you think that you're doing something to stay in a marriage that's unhappy, that you're not celebrated or you feel fulfilled, you are affecting your grandson too, because he wants you to be happy and how he's going to treat the woman that comes along. And I never thought about that, but he was just so supportive of me.
Well, you write something that really, I think, helps us to see the kind of woman and matriarch you've been all these years. You say, mothering someone is such an important job. You naturally put yourself on the back burner, wanting to do so well that you end up losing yourself. You say, I was no doormat, but I was damn sure hard-headed about taking care of everybody except me, and yes, getting the praise for it. So what was the turning point that you realized enough, that moment where you say to the girls, look, I'm going to start taking care of myself?
Well, that was after my divorce. And I was really nervous about it because I had been so engrossed in taking care of them and making sure that they were okay and not feeling worthy of, just loving myself and taking care of myself or taking a day off. If I was in the middle of something that I really wanted to do and my girls called me, I would drop whatever, whomever, and be right there. And so I felt like I had to have that talk with them to warn them. And I was scared of how they would react because, you know, you guys know, mothers are kind of taking, my kids are wonderful. They acknowledge me, they love me, they would do anything for me. But they do, it's a kid's nature to be a little self-centered. But I told them, and surprisingly, they said, Mom, we're so happy to hear that because, you know, they were excited for me. They weren't pissed off about it. They were actually excited that I was going to have my own life.
Lindsay, you have a question? Hi.
Hi, Oprah and Miss Tina. I met my husband shortly after his first wife passed away, and as someone who's mothering 5 children, so 2 biological and 3 step children, I tend to just doubt myself and constantly feel like I'm not enough of a mother to each of them or my own expectations. And I think that's why I was personally so moved later in the book when your daughters were reassuring you that all your sacrifices had impact and made them who they are. Knowing that and also knowing that you've mothered one of the most successful artists of all time, I'm curious if you still have those feelings of self-doubt or regrets or all the things we could have, should have done, or do you say, you know what, I'm truly now at peace?
I am truly at peace with myself. I have never felt better about myself in my life. There's something about turning 70 that all of my mistakes and things, the shame that I had about a lot of things, I tell them all the time, and I don't know if I can say this, but I don't give a shit anymore about what somebody thinks of me, what they say about me. I'm just protective of my kids. So if I don't want to ever do anything to embarrass them or make them feel bad. But other than that, what you say about me kind of rolls off my back because I feel good about me. I feel good about taking the time for myself to look nice and to dress nice and to take care of me. I don't have any guilt or shame about it. So I feel really good about it. And I know that I made a lot of mistakes. And I think if I had anything that I would do over again, it would be that I would have left the marriage way earlier. Because I still feel that I didn't set the greatest example in that way for them.
I think you've done a pretty darn good job.
So you now have 6 grandchildren.
Yes.
Beyonce's Blue, twins Rumi and Sir, Solange's Jules, and Kelly's Titan and Noah.
Yes.
And Clotilde, I hear you have a question.
Thank you. Yes. So in the book, you mentioned that the nun in Holy Rosary stated that you weren't, good enough, basically, right? And there were moments of not belonging throughout the book, but you said, I belong anywhere I want to be. So how has those words played a role in your success, and how have you been able to pass that on to your children and your grandchildren?
It's funny because my girls will say, Mommy, you don't always have to have your dukes up. Beyonce tells me that all the time. But I think I had to fight for space. But I don't know if it was the nuns telling me I didn't belong, that I fought to belong in the spaces that I've been in. And I taught them from day one that they deserve to be anywhere that they wanted to be. And that's, again, people will not always welcome you, but you got to welcome yourself.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You say that you've been asked many times what is the proudest moment you've had with your daughters, and what is your answer?
Oh, God. The proudest moments are when they do something that's not about entertainment, but when they do a charitable thing and they are good people, just regular good people and have good hearts. That sounds corny and it sounds like a cliche, but it's really the truth. I just get so full and so proud when they respect people and they do charity or they do, something that's a normal thing. You've got to have been proud. Listen, when it was announced that Beyonce won the album after all this time, I was like, because I was just sitting there like, okay. I know, me too. Who's it going to be? And I almost peed on myself when it happened. I was just like, oh my God, it happened. So that it had to feel like finally. But you know what? It was more so than pride. I felt like it was fair. That was my happiness. I just felt like they gave her a fair shot. But for the real, she's won a lot of Grammys, but sometimes I felt like some of those were consolation prizes. And so for me, I don't know if I was so much proud as I was happy for her.
Like
That
finally,
finally.
you got the recognition you
got the
deserve
recognition you deserved,
for an album that was so out of the box.
Yeah. And that came from a place of pride for her, because when she went to that award show, she was not treated well. And it was very much me back at Holy Rosary when somebody said, you don't belong here. And, you're not good enough. And that was like saying, I took my seat at the table, whether you like it or not, and I deserve to be here. I deserve to be anywhere I want to be. Yes.
Anywhere you want to be. You tell the story of, I think it was the first album, and you all walk into the listening session, and there are all these guys around, and they're saying, there's not one single hit on this album. And it turns out, there wasn't one single Beyonce, there was 5. There was 5 hits. That's the best of it. But that condescension, that still doubting, that still lack of respect that you all were getting when she was Beyonce.
I wondered about that. Why? But they really set us up. And if I wasn't Badass Teeny B, who produced Badass Beyonce, we would have said, okay, we better go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
But that just made us want to fight. And it challenged her to go and get Jay on the record, which is great. But the sad part is it came because she said they wouldn't do this to Jay. They wouldn't tell him this, but they telling me this.
Yeah, and so from the beginning, you saw this relationship between Jay and her blossoming.
Not from the beginning, because they talked for like a year on the phone. And I was like, oh God, I don't ever remember talking to somebody for a year on the phone. Like, this is moving really slow. And so it took them a year to really get together. When she went to do, the movie in LA was, I think, the first time that he had been to our house for dinner. And, but they weren't dating and they weren't talking like that. So, yeah, it took they moved pretty slow.
As matriarch, having passed on your love and wisdom and nurturing now to your daughters, what kind of matriarchs are they?
That is, I can't believe how good of a mother they are. All of them. They're just really good mothers that are natural and that they love their kids and they put their kids first. And I'm getting emotional because I feel like I passed that on, because my kids were always my priority. Because I did a lot of screwing up when I was younger, and I was, a little bit rebellious, and I went through the thing with being mad at my mom, and so all the things that she didn't give me, I decided I was going to give it to them.
But now you understand. I mean, we understand why you were mad at your mom. That moment you overheard that conversation where you'd been taken to the hospital, and you overheard your mom say, after you were examined, was she pregnant or is she pregnant?
It was the most hurtful thing ever, because I wasn't thinking about screwing in, because I was really focused on getting out of that town. I don't know if I'm saying the wrong thing, but I'm just saying, like, I wasn't, and so it was a very painful thing for me.
So what it said to you is your mom didn't trust you.
She didn't trust me.
Yeah.
But my mom told me eventually, it wasn't you that I didn't trust. I didn't trust the world with you.
Yeah. And that's what I thought about your mom. I thought, yes, she was passive, but she also was fearful, as all Black moms needed to be, because look at what happened to your brother.
Right.
The whole family was traumatized for years in that town. Your brother beaten and the family harassed and you arrested and all that. And so your mother had reason to fear.
And just think about how much
Black Southern moms would fear every time your child is out of the house.
And I'm fearful every time my grandson is out of the house. I'm like, make sure you do this. I mean, we as Black women have to teach our sons and our grandsons and our granddaughters, because my mom was always saying, you got the biggest mouth and you don't know how to control your temper and you're so smart mouth. if somebody stops you, just shut up. Just shut up and make it home. And that's the shame that we have to tell our kids, just shut up and make it home.
Okay, I want to end with this beautiful passage in the memoir. Would you read it?
I am 70 and I just learned that I am enough. I wish I would have realized this at 40 or 50, maybe even younger. But that is why I am telling you. I've tried to collect as much of that wisdom as I can to pass on here. This precious time of gathering memories is closing. It's not an end, I know, but my new beginning.
Yes! Liberation! Liberation time! I'm telling you all, you're gonna love this memoir. It's gonna open up you to thinking about the matriarchs in your own life. You did such a great job. Congratulations to you and to your editor and all the people who made this possible, who decided, look at you on here, honey. I don't know if you think you're cute, but you are cute. You're really cute. Matriarch is available wherever books are sold. And Ms. Tina also reads the audio version of this book. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
The celebrities prepare to look their best at Monday's Met Gala. The night's chairs include Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, A$AP Rocky, and Pharrell Williams, who certainly have shown their sense of style at Met Galas over the years. So it's no surprise that they're involved in this year's event with the theme Super Fine, Tailoring Black Style. It explores Black dandyism, which Vogue calls a cultural statement and a celebration of individuality. And joining us now for more on the big night is supermodel Anakya.
On.
Yeah, he's been to 4 Met Galas. Welcome. So glad that you're here. We mentioned before that you were discovered with this viral photo at a Howard homecoming. You said your life has taken a 180 from a college student
College
to this.
students at Met Gala.
Yes.
Intense.
And you said it still feels surreal. Look at that outfit. That is beautiful.
That was the Swarovski one.
This will be your 5th Met Gala. Does it ever get old seeing the parade of celebrities as they show up on the red carpet?
It never gets old, and the crazy thing is, the nerves never go away.
Yeah.
Like, I really had a nightmare last night that the stairs were never ending.
That's hilarious.
But it's so exciting, but like, you're always terrified up until you're up the steps. Then it's like, oh, okay.
That's your anxiety as you're preparing for it. So we mentioned the theme is super fine tailoring Black style, which encompasses dandyism. What is dandyism to you?
When I think about dandyism, I think about Harlem Renaissance. I think about like really super finely tailored clothes, attention to detail.
Yeah.
So I think the thing for me for this Met is I'm gonna pay very close attention to every single detail, which means I'm having to do a lot of fittings.
A lot of fittings. You said you're gonna do one after this, and we're recording beforehand.
Might do a little in between.
Yes. How do you envision the theme for women? This is what I'm excited to see, how the ladies can pull this all together. Is there anything specific you'll be looking for?
So my initial reaction was, of course, like come in a suit. But for this one, I'm gonna take a men's tuxedo, but rework it in a modern way.
Yeah. Okay. A good long tease there. What is prepping for the event like? You told me that you'll be starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow, collaborating with designers and coming up with the mood and the look. How is that preparation and then the day of?
So the preparation leading up is a lot of meetings with my hair, makeup, glam team, and the designers because we're
basically like making the look come together and figuring out exactly what the hair, the makeup, and the look is gonna all complement. Yeah, yeah. And then like right now we still don't know what I'm gonna do for makeup and hair. So it's like gonna go up or wide or down. Yeah. But the day of is you have a lot of time, but it's because I'm basically getting ready for like 7 hours. Yeah. But there's so much going on between trying to make sure that the look is perfect that it kind of feels like time like freezes. But yeah, it's a lot of prep. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around the fact that you'll be starting so early and going into the evening. When you said that you were gonna do like a tux, and that's what you were thinking to wear a tux, but a different kind of take on it, did you come up with the idea and then go to a designer? Did they come to you? How was that? So basically, once I figure out what the theme is, I make a mood board with me and my stylist, and then I figure out who I'm gonna go with, and then the designer makes the look. They design usually like 5 looks. I pick from one, and then we mix my mood board and theirs. And okay. Outfit, yeah. So Anna Wintour has been known to give some advice on what guests wear. Has she given any advice on your fit this year? Or I didn't hit her up this time. So I didn't hit her up this time. You didn't? Okay. So you felt strong enough for your fifth one to do. Yeah, you know. Okay. I think I got it. Yeah. But she's given advice in the past. Yeah, she helped me with my shuffle with this look. Yeah, it's the one who told me to go with Prabal, and yeah, she's really good at kind of guiding me in the direction that she thinks will be best for me. Yeah. And usually I'll inspire ideas with her, and then she'll nudge me towards. That kind of collaboration is amazing. Is there something that you would love to see as a theme? I really want to see like a cyberpunk theme. Oh. Like because I'm obsessed with sci-fi movies. Yeah. Like if you look at futuristic cyberpunk theme, that'd be. That's the thing about fashion. So Anna. The possibilities are endless. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for being here. It was a joy having you. And you can watch ABC News Live streaming coverage of the stars at the Met Gala red carpet on Monday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern.
The appeals court just the last month or 2 months ago affirmed his 30-year sex trafficking and RICO conviction was upheld by a federal appeals court that concluded the singer exploited his fame over a quarter century for SAing girls and young women, parallel to Diddy's behavior. Almost go side by side. They came up around the same time, right? R. Kelly and Diddy. They came up around the same time. How did it go well for R. Kelly? 30 years. So if R. Kelly's getting 30 years, we've discussed this before. As bad as R. Kelly's case was, Grandpa Diddy used to get free. That's what Leroy said. Grandpa Diddy. They were wild people. Back in they're probably wild to this day. 20 years ago, they're all in their 20s, 30s, early 30s, 20s. Bad boys. But we discussed this with Diddy as far as, I think his charges are much worse than R. Kelly. As bad as what R. Kelly did, it is bad what R. Kelly did. But Diddy's is much worse. I think not only with the egregious sex crimes that R. Kelly did and Diddy's accused of, Diddy elevates it to a whole other level of almost every single crime short of murder, and he probably done it and got his hands involved with some murders. So if R. Kelly's getting a 30-year sentence, what do you think the going rate for Diddy? What do you think? 40 years? 50 years? 50 years? 40 years? When I went to federal prison, And I got 10 years. I got 120 months, followed by 5 years of supervised release, which actually ended up being a 15-year sentence. Welcome to the Phoenix Boston.
I think about how many people are in this building today, and I think of how many people need this building, and the only way we're going to get to them is if everybody who's here goes out.
Shamia is a puppet, Greg is a puppet, all of them are puppets for worship. Next time on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me say what I should have said about you. Like, you're just so easy to You said that she tried to sleep with you. I'm actually going to do my video like she can make just start up with a clean slate. She knew my ass. You need to get that out for So the end of the trip was a little bit weird. I take my foot to bed first. Portia, would you like to answer Angel's question? The rest of the world can get shit. Good morning. How are you feeling? All right, I don't want to be safe. So now I have to do some investigating with all of the ladies to see how it all went to hell, child. Can we have you out? So you know, when you out there getting your beauty rest, you're sitting there holding like 5 eggs, making good time. That's what's wrong with me. That's okay. You know, I'm hearing voices outside of my window, and they're like, birds, and then of course, Rich Shade was that he had cheated and got this outside baby on the plate. What? And then it's part 2 to the story. And I said, goddamn, where's your life? Oh, Jesus. And she came down there and tell me that I heard that y'all mentioned, but I hear you talking about me. She's my mom, Jasmine. This is very good. This is my turn. I don't even remember saying it. Wait, because I was looking for that bitch all the way out. Okay? But I would never anybody go for it. Okay. I swear I don't know anything about the book. Okay, good. Thank you, and I don't have to intention of repeating anything that is written. When we got that, I gave this over a minute. I text her. Ooh, I see it. Wait. After witnessing the disrespectful behavior towards me and my husband, there is nothing more to be said. ... Face. Sisterhood, and it's clear that our morals and values don't align. It's all good though. The only thing that's open after midnight is legs, jail, and the heel. And that's why you need to take your ass to bed early. On a lighter note, I'm actually going to do my Bailey. I actually want to honor Juneteenth. Okay, I'm going to have a profit there. A profit? Yes, but I'm almost get there because we got so much going on. So I don't want to set us back no further. It's a bonfire. It's just a PRP session. Jan, make sure she loves the pink carpet. Girl, when I tell you that this is like amazing. Like literally started a tradition. I go all out for all my girls, especially my third ones. My party is fabulous. She has to make her grand entrance. Listen, the girl has been in the hair salon for 9 hours. My dog is pretty goddamn fabulous. Have you seen her? She gets her hair colored, she gets a massage, her lashes put on, she gets her jewels put on, and sometimes she gets her nails painted. We're well over $1,000. Oh my God! Look at Cha-Cha! Happy birthday! Mimosa and Cha-Cha and our ladies, they are fabulous. Birthday to you! And of course the party is top tier, but all these other dogs, they're not here to do all this fabulous stuff. They just want to sniff around. Just want doggy treats. While our girls, you know, they live their little fabulous life. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Mimosa. Thank you. I'm so excited, girl. Cha-Cha looks so happy. Girl, like, where is Chloe? Girl, I did not realize when I booked the party that it was her weekend to be gone with her grandparents. I was looking around, I'm like, I see all the babies. Like Chloe. So, how's everything good? Everything's going okay? My mom is moving in. She her house up on the market and it's already been under contract, so she's going to be moving in the next 30-45 days. You ready to come move in? Not coming for a little while, and then we gotta make that move out. No, that's why I want to be here. This is the thing. When my sister, she's coming over to help us pack, share. Yes. So we had a talk, and it went well. I love you. I love you, and I respect your marriage. I respect what you got going on. But all this shit was happening. When I launched my insurance agency, you know, my sisters are working for me, and then I met Mike, and we got engaged. I sold the company, kind of draw a wedge between my sisters and I. But since having dinner, me and Cher kind of talked through our differences, and we're moving in a better direction now. Since all of this opinion situation, Cher has been very, very supportive. My oldest sister even called me. Did Sierra call? You know, a storm comes, and then now it's bringing all of us together. So I'm just trying to see if I can get everybody to agree to come. Because it's like, I'm working through my issues with my sisters. Yeah, and my two sisters are still at odds. Okay, how about you? So everything's good. I caught up with Cynthia and Shamia the other day. You know, we had to catch her up on what happened in Nashville. Oh my God. Lord Jesus. Cynthia's having this Juneteenth Bailey Q. So that's gonna be fun. Girl, she said she was having a private conference. I said, ooh, honey, we need it. Hopefully the private don't land us in the lake, honey, because everybody's going to need to be dipped. I'm not gonna have a good time. Yeah. Hey, there, you done a good girl. You got my little tours around the house? Really? Okay. Look at this doggy. It's for you, PJ. This is so cute. She's crazy. That's your own puppy. I want to get more puppy because I'm sure she can feel that my energy, my vibration is low. I want to compensate for that by having a little furry pet for her. And also, she's coming to that age to where they start asking for a sibling, and I don't know where I would go buy for her. I'm so glad she has finally gotten married. I do anything to make her happy right now. Any updates with the divorce relations? So they gave us the court date, and right after they enforced the prenup, the divorce should be after that. They should be settling it. That's good. Like, obviously, I know on the other hand, it does take a toll on you. I feel like lately I've been doing pretty good. The birthday for Nashville was so fun. So fun. So how did it go bad then? Because when I left you, like everybody dropped the issue from to have some fun. But I couldn't do it because yes. I'm literally there, like I was about to blow my cap. Because in that moment, I felt betrayed because I was like, well, damn. So not only did he do it, here she is downstairs, and I got to deal with it. At this point, how are you going to navigate with dinner? Dennis right now, I'm not in that friendly conversation. You know, like I talk about Laura like that. I can't defend you no more, Dennis. I was asking him for this one time was, Dennis, just choose me and Lamar right now. That's it. Dennis and I had a conversation. When you show up anywhere on these cameras with somebody else, it's gonna be a problem. Another damn contract. Actually, insane. At the end of the day, we're supposed to be close to Lamar. Not him and I are upset because he's over here backdooring housewives. You know? Pause. I didn't get backdoor housewives. I mean, come in. Okay, Portia. Say. Just that. And I talked to my second horn, which is Cynthia. She convinced me to go put her on the key, and this time I ended up in the pool having fun. And I forgot that Angela's room, I gave her the room closer to the pool. So then I started mimicking the way that is that y'all like, oh my gosh, all the this apple comes downstairs. She kept going on about her husband that I said, well, you know, I was just your husband. I don't understand that. She's like, oh, you big bird. Big bird. And come on. I could have said some stuff or whatever. I don't remember. I'm telling you right now, I did not call her big bird. Big bird. I call her big bird. I got it. Let me have a moment. This woman has been setting my birthday off since you've been here. I mean, my God. I thought you're not that many people. So, we're in the year out right now. So, yeah. Kind of got next. When we go for a time, though, that's what I was here about you. Like, it's just so easy. My husband, a former New York State basketball player, works out every day, and he's a drill sergeant.
No, you're right. Last bet,
He's like, give me 10, give me 5.
You gotta come up with a way.
He really wants me to sweat. I want to count. I want to do it until I'm gone. And leave. Literally, 2 hotels. Ask you.
Alright.
I called you.
I was there for what happened.
Listen, Dad, I'm not a jerk.
Don't expect someone to mention.
Well, I wanted Portia to kind of get along. My intentions were good. That's how people do.
No, I always like that.
Oh, gosh. He loves me. Double back. So much so that I look to him to get the opposing side view. Like, you know what? Let me just ask my husband what the haters think. He'll tell me fresh off the top of a hater's head. I'm like, Charles, you're supposed to be on my side. Anyway, Portia had a dinner party. And so Portia had Britt talking for her. We wanted you to come because Portia was like, she's not invited. She's never told me that.
Let me go. Let Portia speak for herself. What she gotta think about it? I mean,
It's 10 o'clock.
Anyway, I was just like, okay, so Portia, why did you take that lady's husband?
how did you know it was me too?
The street comes.
That's the worst person to talk to in the street.
He's told me to kiss her ass at that point.
Okay, well, you might have been wrong for answering that. It has nothing to do with you.
Oh, okay, stay on this Portia wagon. You go
I
through?
don't want to go.
Oh, we need to. Anyway, I'm here. Portia, Britt, Kelly, and Shania. Talking about you. How you are messing with a girl in New York. Portia. Wait, we still on the Portia train? Okay.
Portia, no, no,
Okay, but it don't matter. That's what I was going to say about you. Like, you're just so easy to. Anybody can stop. She could.
Okay, you was looking at the thing.
I get it, but.
You believe it?
No, I don't believe it. So, I said, hey, Portia, I hear you talking about me, talking about my husband, got anything to say? And she politely gets her ass the fuck out of there. Because it got real fast. I got some more.
Go to war. So you ever see him in Nashville?
No, I wanted Dennis to meet her.
Hey, boo.
You like a great marriage. I'm getting a wife. I'm not. Yes. I It's really important to me that Dennis and I have a good, cohesive, co-parent relationship right now. That is priority. What the? What are you doing here?
What are you talking about?
You already questioned. Okay, you're in.
What's this?
So we are doing like a welcoming for her. She's from South Africa. I'm meeting her in person today, and she's gonna come and live with me. But the majority of her focus will be taking care of Pilar. I talked to the family that she was with before, regional
She
manager.
was very thorough. All pair. It's called flesh.
Oh, what are they got?
What is it? All pair.
I don't know.
All pair.
Don't live there.
Oh, man. Hold on. That may be good for you to stay out. You got some company.
Excuse me. This is Dennis, Pilar's father, and this is Lauren. You've been talking. Come on, Short, it's here. This is for you. And we have a cake and some flowers. Thank you. Let you feel special. So Dennis and I co-parent. He doesn't live with me. I think I told you that before. He'll be going between our house a lot.
So what do you like to do? What do you like to do when you're not working?
So I have three.
Nice.
I also have a little bear friends here. Oh, you do? We are friends here. Yes. All right, so Lauren can go ahead and take you to the house and start getting you settled, and then we'll finish everything in the house.
Adios.
All right, come on, Dennis, let's chat.
You want to chat?
Mm-hmm.
You got any liquor?
No, this thing. Dennis is an honorary house citizen. I've just chosen to move on. Because even though I could start World War III, the end goal is for our daughters. So we haven't really chatted about our friendship. You caused for it to be like that.
I was just on my drink.
Okay, my birthday party. And I get the news that you have filmed. You know how I am. Why does somebody else gotta tell me that you're filming on this show? Why does she have to hear that you're filming with Drew behind her back from someone else?
I wasn't built because I came to a section of cameras happened to be there. Hey, listen, Drew ain't neither. Wait, we got the part. It's the record she has. Out of respect about how you feel, she's not even signing me no more. Not right nothing else to talk about because I wasn't scared.
You and her need to take accountability for where your relationship is right now. And apparently, you said that she tried to sleep with you.
When I say that,
That's right. Right.
I ain't never been in this wrong with lady.
You said, well, let me use your glasses.
What?
Hold on, what? You said, well, all you had to do was say yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. You said, well, all you had to do was say yeah. So she tried to.
You're interpreting that incorrect.
I'm not going to let you.
Exactly.
So now you know your breakup song about y'all relationship too. Whatever. I'm done with it, and I'm moving past this situation with Drew. I'm trying to show you how we should operate in this co-parenting relationship. Friendship. Brother, you know what I'm saying?
Brother. I might be on that one there.
Oh,
Okay, well, like that.
Want to know what I think? I think it's time you didn't say. Girl, here, speaking of that, one of us got to know how to do this CRT. Okay, there we go. Growing up in the eating household, my dad was always the light, the glue. And I miss my family being close. And I feel like ever since my dad's been gone, we haven't been as close as we used to. Oh, this is so sad.
like bittersweet. Hunting at my mom's house, it does bring back all the memories. Just looking through all the photos of my family and just we did vacations, we did trips, we did dinners. And now it feels like it's a door that's being shut. I got shot too. See, every time I come over, you always put me to work. I just need you guys just to pack up all the photos. And then we can start in the kitchen, okay, with the dishes. Okay, Mommy. When did Daddy build this house for you? I think it was 2014. He didn't make it a year in his house. We don't have a billion homes. Why can't we just have one home that we can always come to? I really hated my mom selling her house because I wanted it to be passed through generations. But I understand. Sherry, Mommy should be in a place where she's ready to do her own thing. I know my mom's tired. But her home is a safe haven for my family, for my nephews, for my sisters. And she's like, if I sell the home, nobody can come home, and she's ready to live her own life. It's bittersweet because I want my mom to be happy, but I'm sad because this is the last of the memories that I have with my father. Mom, I know what your problem is. You've been with my father since you was 17. So you're ready to grow. Okay? No. I just don't want you to be happy now. Stop worrying about what mom wants to do with her life and her body first. Okay, guys, let's go in the kitchen. Come on, Grandma. Come on, pretty lady. I'm not used to the house looking so bare. Where are the windows up? I've never had that much window. How did we get at this? You came home more often, you would know. Daddy laid the foundation for all of this. How dare you give all this stuff away? Sherry, please. How dare he do anything? Hey, he died. I'm right here. Listen. Sherry and my mother, they've always been at each other's neck. I really feel like it has gotten worse because my dad used to always have my sister's back. We can't keep doing this. I'm not going to argue with nobody with my own. That's all I'm am the grandmother. Oh, crazy something. How about I try to call Tierra? Hey, Cece. Hey, baby. That's my big baby. We miss you here. We in here packing up the house. It's so bittersweet. Everybody said no for 10 minutes. That doesn't mean that I don't think about trying to love y'all. You love me? Of course I do. Well, here, it's my club. I get it, but I have been dealing with grief a long time ago. Okay, since my father has passed away, Cher definitely took it the hardest, and Tierra has been very distant. It's okay. Cher doesn't always understand, and she's always had my mother to lean on. She's always had this house, and she's not ready to move forward. I love y'all. I love you too. I love you all now, okay? Me too. I will. Okay, bye. You have a good God upstairs. He take care of everything. That's why you don't have to stop fussing and acting like a fool all the time. That's right, Grandma. I gotta change the code. Oh, you're not really that? No. I usually do my Billy Cues on the 4th of July. What do you guys think in the group is a good start? Oh, the Caribbean. I will be here, man. Now that Juneteenth is a national holiday, why not move it over to Juneteenth? Atlanta is the hub of the civil rights movement, and I wanted everyone to wear Juneteenth colors. Who am I kidding? These apples are not going to follow these damn rules. The party has arrived. Very nice. Thank you. Hey! You look beautiful. Oh, thank you. Welcome to the rainy queue. I have my girlfriend who's a prophet. She's going to be coming, so, you know, I know we all have a lot going on. And I feel like, you know, she could just ask her whatever you want. Absolutely. Yeah. Cheers. Oh, that's thunder. I hope everybody's so confident. I have my plan in my head.
been choosing other people for so long, and now it's time for you to choose yourself, especially when it comes down to your business. But that makes sense. It's an identity there. It's a big shit too. As I'm putting a pause on everything with the agency and insurance, the process mentions my new business, which of course is Bare Naked. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to get back working on my shapewear and lounge line. This is actually the thing that's keeping me going lately. I look forward to using this energy to, come out of this darkness. Where's everybody at? It's raining, and tornadoes, and all of this. Why am I doing everything? Good to see you. I've never heard that one backwards. Thank you. You got my energy. Thank you. Girl, press the hands. I'm a prophet. I don't need confidence. Okay, get this. You have to go empathetic. Yep. So you need to focus on the new beginning. It's everything for you, right? It was not laugh with that marriage. You went through a depression. What are you trying to do with the car? He just said to be vindictive to you. That's how he sold it. He gifted me my G-Wagon for our 10-year wedding anniversary, and he sold it. Nobody knows that. I literally only told Britt. Yeah. Hey, lady. We are here for the queen, baby. First of all, you're not going to tell me I'm invited to a Juneteenth barbecue, and I'm not wearing my African clothes. Okay. You American. You do know my husband is Kenyan, right? How should you be? Okay, Tasha, I want you to introduce energy and give her some insight. Something that's going on around you in terms of an individual. And this can be a spouse that need a vacation or something. They're not comfortable. The comfort has to stop. Okay? And TMI, us women, we get consumed with work and life and all this stuff like that. And sometimes we lose our respect for the lady. Okay, where's my phone? I'm gonna be totally secret real quick. Trump's love language is cleaning up the damn house. Romance does not live forever. You have to reimagine it, reignite it. But we're good. 10 years being married. It's me against the world with my husband. I love you. Yeah. I'm so petty. Come on now. So let's move to Shreya. I want to say 2025 is your money making year. What? Sometimes it's important to lay low. Why are y'all doing handed shots in the middle of my property? I mean, so sorry, girl. Listen, we over here giving you good luck. Why y'all so quiet? Random, you saying. Here, you sit over to my Angela. Okay. What she gets nothing from me. Nothing. Until we address the elephant in the room, which is Nashville, she gets nothing. Nada. Okay. Where's my life? I'm just coming to it. Am I headed for a divorce? Yes. Oh my God, I'm going to be getting a divorce. I'm really close. It'll be a big point where you and Anthony will tell you. Nice to meet you. Now she's an actress, so you gotta be a little careful. I'm a little first. Gotta know that she doesn't want to say it. Yeah, y'all only had it for certain people too. You know what? Drew is so damn extra. It's like she wants to tell the lies in front of everybody, but she wants to tell the truth in private. Girl, just go ahead and get ready in front of all of us, okay? Thank you, Tom. How are you feeling? I haven't seen you since March. You received what you did. What's up, guys? I got some profit money in a little bit. What do you think? I'm so weird. Did you not have me on this film? What's the profit on where it's at? You see, you're that big ass mouth, I should be. It sounds like you need to use that mouth more often. Oh, what's you? Not as much as yours with the stretch marks around The ancestors are in their graves, just If someone sat down and looked at a side baby, you would hurt my feelings, but ultimately I would probably be like, we've been trying to get a baby forever. Can we get the baby? Where the did you get that cowbell? Are you okay, Angela? I'm good. Okay, let's make sure. She's good. I know emotions are high, but I really put this together for us to actually get to a place of peace. We're gonna ask the questions that people know the most about Juneteenth. Which president signed a bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday? A. Bill Clinton. B. Joe Biden. Biden is the correct answer. What is the period after Juneteenth called? The president.
Underground Railroad passenger.
Well, there has to be an opening for the railroad at some point. Because somebody's driving the train. It's not electric like what we have now. My grandfather, Hosea Williams, just rolled over in his grave. What drink is associated with Juneteenth? Yeah, we don't eat. Oh, everything looks good. You see what the main thing do? Juneteenth thing I can never see. Oh, that's why I want to see. The food is amazing. The drinks are flowing. We got some issues to do. No. Excellent. All right. Portia Williams and Angela Oakley. I would like to see you guys in the prop room. Portia and Angela are both very headstrong, but this is crazy. I mean, you can stay mad forever. I'm ready for it to end. I just wanted to create a space for you guys to have a conversation. Let's go to Angela and let's go to you, Portia. I'm gonna leave it to you guys to talk. Okay. It's okay. We get out right.
So initially when I invited you, I felt like you understood my intention. As an actor, you felt this house.
My POV was you wasn't invited for whatever reason. People canceled. Now it's like not about you anymore. You know,
What happened at 3 o'clock in the morning? Was dancing about me?
what you walked up on was a complete after party. So somebody brought up something. And I was like, yeah, what's my Angela? Why does she always bring up her husband to me?
But you were the person who said,
Girl, no.
even on that phone, that's what you said.
Girl, it wasn't bringing back an Afro sleep. It was a stupid comment. I shouldn't have made it. Or maybe I should have. I was kicking with my friends. I definitely didn't know that Dumbo was up there with big old ears listening to everything.
check in with you and look at me. Let's do it. So, ladies, do we feel like we can like maybe just start off on a clean slate? She didn't like that. No, you said that my husband. Yeah, she said that my man. Oh my God. Okay.
My opinion about your husband, I apologize.
Okay, there you go. Okay, now push you go ahead. Ditto. If I offended you about your husband, I'm not to you. And I'll let you go. Come on, Jesus. No, it's so cute out here. Super cute out here. Take it up. Take it up. Put your push down. Yes. I need to set it in. We have one more session. What's up with that?
She's trying to overcompensate for the fact that you got some real deep issues that are going on in your marriage.
Sister Shamaya would like to sit down with you, and I'm sure you'll be very receptive. Hi, Angela. I just wanted to have some closure on the text that you sent over. I honestly don't even know what part I had in making you feel some sort of way.
Your best friend says to you, I should your husband. I was looking to you as a married woman to check her.
Y'all are at each other's same thing. This is her talking. And I'm not saying that that's okay.
Please,
It ain't my right. I don't want to justify what she said. I'm not here to talk about Portia. I'm here to talk about my part.
you sat there and he with her when she said it.
I realized about everything that I had.
And you.
I like laughing. I think it's healing. I mean, hell, I laughed at my uncle's funeral because they buried him looking like a pastor and he never set foot in a church.
You know what? Now I don't really think the conversation is good because it's going to lend itself to something.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Shamia said some things that I didn't agree with, and she has to respect my not wanting to be bothered with that.
I don't know why Angela's holding my feet so close to the fire. She's making s'mores with my feet at this point. I'm sorry, Angela. I like you. I want to love you. Can you just find it in your heart to just accept my apologies? I am sorry. Exclamation marks. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the gym.
I will.
Where's your waist snatch, bitch? Come on now. It's the other thing. I'm standing. Still to come this season, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Ricky Price is definitely there. One to twist.
Amazing. We're gonna be there. We should see they love her out, and I'm here for it.
Let me tell you something, Brandon. This is better than the little championship.
Nobody wants to be with your little hobby.
That's correct.
Shamia made deal, and this is a lopsided friendship.
Wow. Ralph literally locked me out of the house. He's trying to claim being rightful owner to Tusador LLC. You say nothing like this. None of my business. That is your dating picture. Okay. It was on the blogs. People are saying it.
I know some area that they wear rings, but yeah, my husband does not wear earrings.
Now, just hold on to your past.
You're a man and a word. So here's the
They need to be clutched.
Một số độc giả có thể tự hỏi liệu được chẩn đoán mắc ADHD có khiến một người phải đối mặt với nhiều nguy cơ thực hiện hành vi phạm tội hơn hay không? Một số nghiên cứu cho thấy điều này cũng có thể xảy ra. Tuy nhiên, có hai vấn đề của nghiên cứu như vậy. Đầu tiên, dường như không có sự thống nhất về cách đánh giá ADHD. Thứ hai, để thực hiện một đánh giá thực sự chính xác. Một chuyên gia đã trải qua quan sát đối tượng trong nhiều nhiệm vụ với các bối cảnh khác nhau. Điều này hiếm khi được thực hiện. Ngay cả khi những học sinh không có động lực, thiếu sự chú ý tiêu cực hoặc không có hành vi thù địch, giáo viên vẫn luôn có xu hướng thông cảm và muốn giúp đỡ chúng. Họ vẫn im lặng rằng họ vẫn tin rằng những học sinh như vậy bị rối loạn cảm xúc, chiến lược của họ là phát triển bất kỳ điểm mạnh nào của học sinh và nuôi dưỡng những hình ảnh bản thân tích cực. Họ khuyến khích để phạm tội thực hiện những điều mình ta có thể làm tốt và hạ thấp những điểm yếu kém và hành vi bạo ngược của ta. Bất cứ việc tốt nào của đứa trẻ được thực hiện được nêu lên như một tấm gương. Trên những đứa trẻ khác. Cuối cùng, học sinh này có được giáo viên là 7/24. Cậu ta hiểu rằng giáo viên này sẽ không có áp lực vì cô ấy muốn giữ bầu không khí hòa bình. Nếu giáo viên có những kỳ vọng cao hơn, mối quan hệ gắn bó sẽ trở nên rỉ rứt. Học sinh sẽ hành động như thể một đồng minh hoặc một cán bộ mình. Cậu ta thực hiện hành vi có lỗi với giáo viên. Bất cứ điều gì đó xảy ra, và một lần nữa thể hiện mình là nạn nhân của sự bất công. Cũng 7 tuổi rồi ta. Khi giáo viên sẽ gặp phải khó khăn, khi một học sinh có năng khiếu bị trượt môn, họ sẽ tăng cường sự chú ý và hỗ trợ kéo dài bài tập về nhà, cũng như các dự án giúp đỡ trực tiếp, giới thiệu gia sư và cố vấn những học sinh này. Các nhà giáo dục vẫn tận tâm giúp đỡ những đứa trẻ để chúng đạt được thành công. Một số học sinh có thể đạt được kết quả tốt nhờ những biện pháp như vậy. Trong số đó, trong khi một số các biện pháp cố gắng lợi dụng chúng.
Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Advanced UV Protection. It's sunscreen you can't see. Great. Nina, can you move to the left a bit? Perfect.
You're blocking.
You can't see me, but I'm down. Mentos makes you qualify.
Mentos, the fresh maker. Yes to fresh. Mysterious structures located all over the world. It's as if all these ancient builders went to the same school. Magnificent monuments emitting a powerful energy. When you go inside it, you have the feeling like you are in the hands of an extraordinary intelligence. Did ancient man build the pyramids as burial chambers?
Like you want to build a tomb, fair enough. Why you just going to have many blocks of stones?
Or did they serve another, much more profound purpose?
You have to think that whoever is guiding such a precise network of pyramids must have been a very advanced culture, probably extraterrestrials.
Millions of people around the world believe we have been visited in the past by extraterrestrial beings. What if it were true? Did ancient aliens really help to shape our history? And if so, might there be an extraterrestrial connection behind the secrets of the pyramids? Gebel Barkal, Northern Sudan. Tamil Nadu, Western India. The Temple of Ur, Southeast Iraq. From the ziggurats of ancient Babylon to the temples